Okay, so let's just talk for a little bit here about Cartesian coordinate systems and ordered pairs. So Cartesian coordinate systems, it's a really long name for something that we've seen many times before. It's an x-axis and a y-axis. An ordered pair is an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. Now, just briefly, this comes just a little bit before before Cartesian coordinate systems. We have number lines. Number lines, I have two standard number lines here. I have one that's horizontal, and I have one that's arranged vertically. So a number line, the key components, we have what we call the origin, and that's where the number 0 sits on our number line. And then I have to the right, if it's positioned horizontally, to the right, then I have all of my positive numbers. Here they're written in blue. That's just so you can remember and keep track of what's going on, but normally your number line won't necessarily have two colors. And then to the left, I have my negative numbers. Now, we can use number lines quickly to add or subtract integers. If, say, I have the number 4, I would plot it right here. And if I did 4 minus 2, I could show that on a number line. 4 minus 2 equals 2. If I have the number 1, I could do 1 minus 3. 1, 2, 3 equals negative 2. So that's how they work in terms of how we can use them. Now let's just quickly plot a few different numbers on this horizontal number line. So let's plot 0. Well, 0 is at my origin. That's right here. The number 4, note it's positive 4, not negative 4 here, is located to the right of my origin. And I can go right to the number 4, or I can count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the number 4. The number negative 3, this is the first one on the red side. 1, 2, 3 to the left of the origin. The number negative 1 sits right here. And the number 6 sits up here on my number line. Now, if I take a look at my vertical number line down here, I notice this one isn't color-coded, but when it's written out vertically, then the positive numbers are written above the origin, the negative numbers are written below the origin here. So let's just quickly plot what we have. We'll plot the exact same numbers. I have the number 0, that's right at my origin right here. I have the number 4, that's 4 above the origin because it's positive, sits right here. Number negative 3, that's 3 below. Number negative 1, that's 1 below the origin. And 6 above. Note here my numbers only go up to 4, but I can continue them on. The number 5 would be here, the number 6 would be here. So I could plot the number 6 right up there. Now, you'll notice number lines that you may not have used number lines in quite a few years in school, but directly, that is, but we do actually use them every day when we're plotting on a Cartesian coordinate system, because a Cartesian coordinate system is just two number lines put together. Cartesian coordinate system has a horizontal number line right here, that's our x-axis. It has a vertical number line right here, that's our y-axis, and a Cartesian coordinate system can describe any point within here by just two numbers. That's an x and a y coordinate. When we write out those points, we write them out in the form of x, comma, y in brackets, where x is our x coordinate, which is the horizontal position on the number line. and y is the y coordinate, which is the vertical position. So if I'm plotting, let's see here, if I'm plotting on my Cartesian coordinate system, on my two axes here, if I'm plotting these points, then my first point, how we say it, is the point 4, 2. We always say x first and then y. It goes alphabetically here. So if I'm going 4, 2, then I'm going 4 to the right of my origin, and I'm going 2 up from the axis. So this position here is at 4, 2. If I'm plotting 0, 4, then I go 0 across from the origin. That means I stay here, and I go up 4 squares, 2, 3, 4. If I have 4, 0, note these have the same numbers, but they're two different points because I always count the x first and then the y. So this time I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 across, 0 up. There's my point here. And let's just erase my tracking, my counting lines there. I have the number 1, negative 1. So here's our first negative coordinate, but we know what to do with negatives because we've seen them on our number lines here. We just go in the other direction. So this time we're going to go, again, over 1, and then down 1. Our second last point here is 0, 0, so we don't move at all from the origin. Our point is simply right at the intersection between our x and y axes. And finally, I have negative 6, 6. So I count my x first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I go 6 up because it's positive. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's right here. Perfect. Now, note that all of these points down here, they were labeled in the form of an ordered pair. Right? They're written with x first and then y. We could also show our points because we have many points. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could show them in a table of values, which I'm sure you've seen before, where we show all of our x coordinates and y coordinates in different rows. So here my first point, if I were to write it out in an ordered pair, would be 4, 2. My second point, if I wrote it out, would be 0, 4, and so on. That's how we use our table of values. This one is arranged horizontally, but the next one on the side here is arranged vertically. Again, they're all the same points here. Our first point is 4, 2. Our second point is 0, 4. And so on. So you should be able to use that information. That's just a quick review of how the coordinate systems work. You can use that information to solve the problems down below. One last thing, if we do see that there are 4 what we call quadrants, so there are 4 sections to the Cartesian coordinate system here. We have the one that is positive x and positive y, and we call that quadrant 1. And we have the one that is negative x, positive y, we call that quadrant 2. We have the one that's negative x, negative y, we call that quadrant 3. And finally, we have positive x, negative y, we call that quadrant 4. So you can use all of that information as you wish. We do rely on knowing these skills, on having these mapping skills in order to graph any of our equations this year. So please familiarize yourself with this material.